Kitty litter. Stacy, you're an asshole. Stacy, kitty litter. Welcome back to Nerd Explosion, the weekly podcast where we're based on a monthly theme. We nerd out about whatever we want. I'm Cameron.
And I'm the newly tatted Kate.
Yes, you have a new tattoo.
I do.
Now, for those of you, I mean, obviously you're not going to be able to see it, but she got 3 of the fairies from Legend of Zelda. She got Navi, Tattle, and Tail.
I did. They're on my arm. They go from my wrist to my elbow, and I love them very, very much.
It looks really good. It looks really good. We're gonna close off. I almost forgot what the theme of the month was.
We're closing off theater month.
We're closing off like musical theater month by. I found some stories on Reddit on r/theater. Basically, people ask for advice in a situation, but it's kind of little mini stories. You know how Reddit goes. And I thought we'd just go through them and give our opinions on them. So that means that today we are telling Tales from the Theater. So this first one is called My Boyfriend Doesn't Want Me to Kiss on Stage. I auditioned for a role, and there are 2 kisses. I let him know, and he was totally against it. We had long discussions, and he is not okay with it. He said there's an actor that doesn't kiss in film, and I should be like him. I want leading lady roles, and I'm kind of sad that I won't get them if there's a kiss. I like the project I auditioned for Dead Man's Cell Phone, and I hope I get cast as someone else so I won't have to turn the role down. I really wish he was okay with it, but he's not. Should I just let it go or jeopardize my relationship over this issue? I don't want to resent him, but I don't want to lose him either. Edit. I just told him I won't kiss anyone. I just don't want problems. We would have to break the lease, change the job I share with him, and I can't afford that. All for a fucking play? Like,
I feel like
this is like this. I know. Give your opinions first. I gotta get my thoughts together on this one.
So, first of all, I will say that is a boundary for him, and I can respect that. However, I'm going to assume that he knew this girl was an girl, right?
Yes, I'm assuming OP is a girl.
I'll just say they them because I don't know. I don't know for sure. So I'm assuming that he met OP knowing full well that this person was an actress. Oh yeah, because she said leading lady roles. Okay. So knowing full well that she was an actress, and you have to kind of understand that sometimes roles involve kissing other humans.
Yeah, and there was a comment
and it doesn't mean anything, and if you're that insecure, maybe you need to look into that a little deeper.
Yeah, and there was a comment that I saw, and somebody was like, well, why would you be with someone that puts their ego over your ambition?
Correct.
There was another comment that I highlighted where somebody said, are you a kid/teen or an adult? If you're a teen, it's time to reflect on what type of relationship you want to be in and what standards you want to set for yourself. Do you want boyfriends/partners to try and exert this level of control? Would you expect that any future partners of your own would also never stage kiss? Do you love him enough to be sidelined in your art for as long as you 2 date? It's a little weird and possibly unsafe that a teenage boy thinks he should weigh in on what you do with your own body. Are there other ways that this guy wants to control your behavior and decision making? If you're an adult, well, same questions really. But if this is a long-term partnership, or if you share a family or finances, then it's much harder to just do the show and deal with the fallout. Generally, controlling behavior like this comes from a lack of maturity or a serious desire to control. If your personal boundaries that you feel comfortable performing a role that requires a stage kiss, then why does he feel that he can influence a change there? If you feel that going against his wishes in your art or job will jeopardize a relationship, you have to choose which part of your life is the priority. And OP responded to that by saying, adult, never did a kiss scene, kinda nervous about it but want to try. He said that as a firm boundary. My friend in acting said I could communicate with the directors. He said he's against it because my ex was trying to be in my life when we were dating, and I gave him trust issues, so it's kind of my fault he can't trust me to do a kiss scene.
So... okay. I would like to adjust my previous statement.
Yes.
So it sounds to me like the whole my ex was trying to be in my life thing means that you never cut communication with your ex, and now your current partner has some trust issues, which makes me think that there might have been some, not necessarily cheating, but definitely some suspicious behavior going on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everybody that I talk to, like, we don't have trust issues.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
you have to communicate that with your partner, and it doesn't sound like that happened at the beginning. So now I still don't necessarily agree with OP's boyfriend, but I see where he's coming from a little bit better now.
Also, it's the thing of, I mean, where I'm kind of thinking of it, it's literally just a performance. Like, I guarantee any actor that does like a movie scene where they have to kiss somebody, they're not always gonna end up together. They're like, oh, well, I'm cheating on my current partner with this.
Well, that's just it. Like, I wouldn't consider that. If I was in that position, if you were a stage actor and you had a role where you had to kiss somebody or whatever, I wouldn't consider that cheating, because first of all, it's your job, and second of all, you're playing a character.
Like, perfect example with WWE and stuff. There was Dominic Mysterio actually did a recent thing where, I mean, he's been on screen. He kissed Liv Morgan and everything. But he also said, like, just being like his normal self, like being his, the real Dominic. Mm-hmm. He said that, like, because he was asked, like, oh, what does your wife think about all this? And he said that his wife knows pretty damn well, the difference between Dominic the wrestler and Dominic, her husband.
Yeah.
They're like two different people. So, like, she knows how to separate that.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, he's playing a character. It's not like he's openly and actively cheating on her. He's playing a character for a show.
Yeah, and that really just speaks to the insecurity. Like, it's not, a problem with her kissing people. It's a problem of you not being secure with not only yourself, but your partner, to be like, hey, I know this isn't going to mean anything. And if it ends up, if it does end up leading to anything, then that's on you, not me.
Right.
But yeah, I'd say just go for it and fuck what anyone else thinks. Pursue your dreams, baby boo.
Did you just say baby boo?
I did.
But no, I think you're right. I think that does speak more to the insecurity of OP's boyfriend than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, this
also,
post is old.
This whole situation could be avoided with just proper and direct communication.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, I mean, this post is old, so who knows what happened, but it's 149 days ago, so who knows what happened with that.
149 days doesn't seem like that it's that old, but
it's like maybe a few months or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, I just say, pursue your dreams.
Yeah.
Whatever they may be. All right.
And get you a partner that, like, supports that.
Exactly. All right. Next story. This next one is called How to Not Get an Erection on Stage.
Okay.
Sorry for being so forthright, but this is a big issue for me right now. We're doing Entertaining Mr. Sloan. I canter around on stage in my underwear for half of Act 1, and there's a huge amount of sexual tension / innuendo and light physical contact. It's genuinely arousing. I've popped a semi several times already, and that's without even having an audience staring at me yet. How the hell do I not get a boner? Worst yet, Act 1 ends with an actual sex scene where I'm on top of Keith, and we have a lot of contact. If we all got off stage and I had a boner, I think I would die on the spot. Please help. There's an update here, but initial thoughts?
Take that shit down and hope for the best.
My guy, compression shorts. I mean, the boner's still gonna be there, and it'll probably be uncomfortable, but it's not gonna pop out anywhere. Like, just get yourself a good pair of compression shorts.
Tuck it up in your waistband like some of the dudes I went to high school with.
I wouldn't trust that, because that could, one, cause a lot of pain on the tip.
Oh, see, I don't have a wang, so I don't know these things.
Yeah. So, shut it. I'm kidding.
No
obviously.
penis, no opinion.
No penis, no opinion. No, but literally, like, my best advice would be compression shorts because literally they keep everything just compact.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go necessarily as far as to add a cup to that, but literally compression shorts are probably your best bet because even if you do pop a boner, that thing's going to be...
I was just going to say, so even if
in.
you do pop a chub.
Like, even if you do, grow a woody. Everything's like compacted. So the update.
Okay.
Update for anyone reading from the future. I did talk to my director and stage manager and the chair of the theater's board of directors about this, and they were all cool with it. My stage manager did make me 2 pairs of cut-off pantyhose that worked pretty well to suppress an erection. However, I also found that after our first few rehearsals, I never had any hint of an erection again during the play, so I never actually used the cutoffs. Part of it was the amount of focus required to get through the scenes. Part of it was just doing the same things over and over. Part of it was that I started dating someone shortly after I posted this. Lessons learned. Talk to people, express your discomforts, stand up for yourself, but also don't assume the worst.
Yeah. Pretty good advice.
Yeah, plain and simple. I'm glad everything worked out. And I'm glad your schnumpf is no longer a problem for your theater escapades.
Although I would have loved to be a fly on the room in the wall when he was like, listen, stage director and everybody else, I'm popping wicked boners. I'm
just like imagining like OP's worst fears in this is like they're doing the play or whatever, and they're just walking around on stage and they hear from like the back of the house, like in the seats, somebody just like, is that a boner?
Kid's got a boner.
Kid's got some wood.
Personally, that would make me laugh hysterically.
Right. Or just some old woman in the back just penis. Oh my god!
Talk about embarrassing. That poor kid would just.
I would love for our neighbors to have heard that. Just 9:47 at night, just somebody yelling, penis! But yeah, glad everything worked out for them. Next story. Patron constantly making noises due to a disability, not sure what to do. I'm on the board of a small, less than 100-seat, family-oriented community theater. One of our major, I would say she's a T, volunteer has a teenage son constantly makes loud noises beyond his control due to a disability. Think of a human imitation of a horse's neigh. When I say constant, I directed a show recently which he attended, and there was never so much as a 10-second break in the noise. He sat in the back row, and he could still be heard up in the front. I have some friends who came and they said they would hear the show fine, but the patron's noises were very distracting. I know this is completely beyond his control, and we want to be inclusive of everyone, but at the same time, we want to make sure the rest of the audience has a good experience. We're just not sure what to do. Do we ask him not to attend performances? Or do we accept the audience impact and, if people complain, just explain that it's beyond anyone's control? So, initial thoughts, because there's 3 different edits. Initial thoughts?
I mean,
because it definitely sounds like a major form of autism.
It does, and unfortunately, I think they just have to cut their losses there. I don't think there's really anything anybody can do in that situation that wouldn't make them an asshole. You know what I mean?
Because as far as them like not attending or whatever, that has to be on the parent or whoever's with them,
right?
Because if it's the kind of autism I'm thinking, then this kid has literally no idea where he is, probably, or does not even care where they are,
or doesn't really understand what's going on. Yeah.
So it's just like, I mean, I'm all for like being inclusive, but also like I can get why it would be like annoying to some people. But like you said, it's like really not much you can do about it.
Right.
Okay, so there's a couple of edits here. There's a final edit, there's an ETA, and then there's an edit 2.
The final edit was a lie. Got it.
I really like the idea of inviting him to a dress rehearsal and we'll bring it up in the next board meeting. I think invited dress rehearsals are technically considered performances, but I'm a fan. What are you doing over there?
Sorry.
I just hear a bunch of crackling in my headphone. I'm just like, God damn it! Anyway, I really like the idea of inviting him to a dress rehearsal and I would bring it up at the next board meeting. I think invited dress rehearsals are technically considered performances, but I'm a fan of giving the actors the opportunity to practice with distractions, so if needed, we can maybe get around it by saying he's part of the rehearsal. But I do worry about how to handle similar situations in the future with others in the future. ETA. We tried 3 times over the past year having a relaxed performance, promoted it heavily through our usual channels, and each time the audience was in the single digits.
Ooh, rough.
Edit 2. I want to make it clear that we don't want to exclude this individual. Ideally, we would want to be able to accommodate him, but with our small space and shoestring budget, we're just not sure what to do. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's just like, it's really hard to accommodate. Like, it's really hard to try to figure out what the best thing to do in that situation without somebody ending up the asshole, you know?
Right.
But
well, and that's just it. I mean, it's something that's so far beyond his control that,
because, like I said, the kid's autistic. That's really something you can't help.
Right.
And if it's,
and you can't change
that,
it, so
that level of autism, you really can't do much about it other than just have somebody with him. Like, really, all you can do is just have like a parent or like a caregiver or something. But
yeah, but then you could argue that like having because I'm assuming you're talking about having the caregiver so that he could be removed if necessary.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, you know, the responsibility then falls on the caregiver if they're not able to, you know, this person isn't responsible for their own actions.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still going to be distracting, though. And I think that's the core of the problem.
It's just, yeah, it's really like, I don't even know what to do in that situation because it's just like, what can you do without making you or somebody else look bad, you know?
Well, and OP made it clear that they were like, we don't want to exclude this person.
So it's either you keep the person away from the performance and then be accused of not being inclusive.
Right. Or
you include the person and then other people get mad that the performance feels interrupted.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really don't know what to do in that situation.
Yeah, you're kind of in a
it's kind of a
double-edged sword situation.
Yeah, so that was 3 days ago, so best of luck to you, OP. Best of luck. All right. Last story. This is titled, what would you advise a 19-year-old female castmate who's being hit on by a 31-year-old male director?
Ew.
Right. This is kind of a shorter one, but, well, we'll see where this goes. My conscience cannot just sit and watch our director hit on my co-actor. Everyone who knows is worried, but don't really know how to address it. What would you advise her? Additional details. He's straight up courting 19-year-old female, and he said so himself. She seems to be really matured for her age. It's a professional theater, but it's a startup company. The director is also the co-owner. He's like the highest up visible because the other execs are nowhere to be seen. To be fair, they are low-key during rehearsals, but ever since we found out about them, he became worried for her. This company has many red flags, the director being very controlling as one of them. Most of us plan to leave as soon as the contract ends, and we don't want her to be held back because of this fucking grown-ass man grooming her. Police?
Yeah.
Hello, 911?
I mean, I don't know if the police can do anything because she is technically an adult. She's 19.
Yeah.
But yeah, she needs to get the parents involved or something. I mean, that's...
Yeah, like the parents involved and
that's
most
concerning.
Most other people need to be involved too. Like you and OP and like the rest of the cast and the rest of the company need to be like, hey, dude, knock it off.
Yeah.
And like they said, they plan to leave when the contract ends. So hopefully this girl that's being hit on also leaves with the contract. Or if not, then OP and them need to convince this girl to leave.
Yeah.
Because if she...
That's a scary situation.
And it's even worse if it's a case of the girl is showing interest back. Or if showing interest back, then it's like, okay, then there's really nothing that can be done in that situation.
Right.
Because this older dude is hitting on this younger person. This younger person's like, ha, okay, I must be attractive. Like, then you guys are going to destroy each other's lives. And that's really, like...
kind of up to you.
That's, at that point, it's just, you know, the boulders already started rolling down the hill. It's just going to destroy whatever it comes in contact with. And it's just going to be what it is.
It's just going to be chaos, yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to be total chaos. But, yeah, if you're able to stop it, I would say, OP, if you're able to stop it, definitely, you know, put a stop to it. Or just get yourself and this girl away from the situation as quick as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, that's all the stories I had. Any highlights?
The boyfriend in the first one is also a little concerning, but...
Oh yeah, the one that doesn't want his girlfriend to kiss on stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, at that point, that kid's just all about ego. Or that guy's just all about ego. And I'm like, dude, just get over yourself. Yeah. I mean, I always have my own... You know, I don't have many theater drama stories. I do want to share one. Like, it's kind of a funny story. And this happened to me during the one stage show that I did in high school.
Yeah.
So, in high school, I was in the show called Showcase, which was basically like a whole, like, stage show, like a musical. But our music was different generations of music. So, we started with, like, the 50s and went up to, like, the 80s and I think early 90s. But one of the sets that we did, it was most of the guys, and we did the Temptations, and the opening song was Can't Get Next to You. Mm-hmm. And so it started out with, we were on like different risers, and the spotlight would hit one person after another when it was their turn to sing. And I had the first line of the second verse. And there was one show where, so the song before that, I had to get a microphone from somebody else. So after they did the previous set of songs, they had to rush around from one side of the stage to the other to get me a microphone, to get me mic'd up before I, you know, went on.
Yeah.
And there was one show where they were a little late to do that. Like the Temptations part had already started. But luckily it was dark, so no one would notice I wasn't there. Mm-hmm. But I managed to get the microphone on and like my costume all together just in time to hop on stage, like in my spot, and do my line.
Oh, nice. So you made it work.
That was also right after that set is when we did like the 60s. And it started with My Generation, which was, it started as my solo. Like I did the first verse as a solo.
Oh, okay.
So I had to change out of this like suit type deal into jeans, sandals, and a vest.
That was quite the costume change.
Yeah, it was just, I basically set my stuff beforehand on the other side of the stage where we exited, because I had to quit, do that, and then, you know, get changed. And then once during the 60s thing, when we went off stage, I just grabbed everything and went back to the dressing room to bring everything away.
Nice.
And like, I remember that being really stressful, and I'm like, God, I can't imagine these people that do quit changes. Like, I've seen quit changes in Broadway shows, and some of them are insane. Like, they're really skilled in how they pull it off.
Yeah.
Do you have any theater stories? Any personal theater stories?
I did theater for 2 years, but I was always the stage crew.
You just help build stuff?
Yeah, which was fun. I enjoyed that. I would go back and do that again.
Yeah, like I said, if I could go back and do more, I wish I could go back in high school, and I wish I did more like theater stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I would definitely be in more plays. Like, I know they did Shrek the Musical. I would have loved to be in Shrek the Musical.
Instead of just doing showcase.
Right. And one thing I've really thought of, like, recently, and I know we'll never have the money to do it, but there is that performance center by us, the AIM Center.
Yeah.
And I would love nothing more than to put together a Starkid performance, like my own Starkid performance. Because on their website, they have like a list of musicals like, hey, you can do these. Like, these musicals are available for you to do on your own if you want to do your own performance.
Oh, that would
You
be
just have
kinda cool.
you just have to email us and we'll send you the instrumentals and all that stuff. And I mean, you have to pay for it, but obviously, but they'll send you like the instrumentals and scripts and whatnot.
We'll
No,
never say never. Maybe we can get that off the ground one of these days.
Yeah, maybe. But with that, I guess we'll close out this episode. Nice, relaxing episode to end off Musical Month, and kind of a slow one too because it's 10 o'clock at night and I have a busy weekend ahead of me. But I guess with that, we'll call it an episode. I hope you guys drink your water, stay hydrated, do positive things, or like I said last week, I'll tell your mother. I really mean it. I have her number. I will tell your mother on you. Don't think I'm giving empty threats. Do not take me for some conjurer cheap tricks. Anyway,
I'm coming for your shoes.
I'm coming for your left shoe, and I'm shitting in them, buddy.
I'm shitting them. Which one of you motherfuckers snitched on me to my mom?
I've been Cameron.
I've been Kate.
And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Nerds out.